It feels relevant today to talk about what we call the inner child and why it matters on the awakening journey. I'm just putting together the finishing touches to a workshop that I'm doing this weekend all about the inner child. And it got me thinking about how it's such an important topic as it comes up with most clients in the therapy sessions that I work in. And it doesn't matter what they come for initially, whether it's anxiety, OCD, or phobias, or relationship issues, confidence, or just that they're on the spiritual awakening journey. It's always, we end up working at in some part of the sessions with their inner child. And you might have heard the term before, but I want to speak about it in a way that feels real, embodied, and relevant to where you might be right now. The inner child isn't a concept, and it's not something that needs to be analysed in that way, but it is part of you that's very much within you right now, and it's the you that experienced the world before you had the ability to have rational thought, before logic, before story, before explanation was able to be understood. And as children, before the age of 8, we tend to experience life directly through the body as the brain is developing, and we are mainly in a theta brainwave state for most of the time. So they experience the world through sensation, through feeling, through emotion, through instinct. So when something feels frightening, confusing, overwhelming, or painful, there is no rational mind like we have now to make sense of that experience. It's just simply felt. And when an experience felt too much to stay present with, a protector self, another part, naturally forms. And it's not because anything went wrong, it's because the system is intelligent. And the protector part says, I will make sure that this feeling that feels uncomfortable never happens again. And then over time, over many experiences, an adaptor self develops. And this is the part that learns how to behave, how to perform, how to please, how to withdraw, how to stay quiet, how to stay strong. Whatever it was that helped you to stay safe and to feel a sense of belonging is what the adapter self morphs into. And the adapter part is the operating system that you now run on. And it works for a time until it doesn't. And on the awakening journey, something important happens. This old operating system begins to glitch. And the strategies that once kept you safe no longer feel true. The roles that you've played might begin to feel cumbersome or heavy, misaligned. And the ways that you've coped start to not really work. And very often, what's underneath that discomfort is the inner child. That part of you that's still holding experiences that were never met, never soothed, and never integrated or reasoned with. And inner child work isn't about going backwards. It's absolutely fundamental part of the healing journey. It's not about living in the past or reliving and going over endlessly old memories, which can be changed and distorted the more that we go back to them. And it isn't about blaming anyone. And it isn't about becoming fragile and remaining in a victim mentality. It's because the system is asking to come back to wholeness. So it's just a very integral part of the healing journey. And the healing happens when we can turn towards that little self to reconnect, to reparent, and to reintegrate them with love. And if you're somebody who finds themselves here right now, if it feels okay, you might want to just try this with me. If you just take a deep breath through the nose, and then breathe out fully and close down the eyes, and just bring to mind a younger version of yourself before the age of 8. Not a memory, just a sense of that you. It might be a photograph you remember. But as you tune into the energy of them, just notice where you feel them in your body. There's no right place. But just get a sense of feeling that little you within. And now you can gently ask in your mind, what do you want me to know? What have you been carrying on your own? What would help you to feel a little safer today? There's no need to force an answer. Sometimes it's a feeling or a sense, a word, or just a softening. But just by reaching out to connect is the first step. And inner child work doesn't just live in therapy rooms or workshops. It lives in the small, everyday moments. So you might today think about what would feel nourishing rather than just productive. For instance, where am I being hard on myself, where I could be a little bit kinder? What's one simple thing that I could do today that my younger self would have loved? It might be something creative, something fun, something playful. Connection doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be consistent. And when the inner child is brought back in from the cold, the protector self can soften and the adapter can rest and let go of its roles and responsibility. And then something deeper becomes available. That sense of safety, creativity, intuition, play, and emotional freedom. So it's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering the essence of who you were before you learnt that it was safer to leave those parts of yourself behind. And if you feel called to, drop me a comment about your inner child. I'd love to hear from you.